This calculation is going to be a little bit strange. I wouldn't expect anybody even doing IT to probably come up with this calculation. I'll try to explain what is going on. We're going to use division. So division on a computer, if I do equals 7 divided by 2, I get the answer 3.5, which is the division that you're quite used to. I want to take you back to the point where you were at primary school, really, and you were looking at, well, what happens if I divide 7 by 2? How many does that equal in whole numbers, and what am I left over as a remainder? So if I divide 7 by 2, well, 2 goes into 7. Well, let's see it work. Okay, so 2 goes into 7 3 times with a remainder of 1. And this formula here, mod in bracket 7, 2, so that is divide 7 by 2 and give me the remainder, I end up with the value 1. So what I'm really looking at now is the number of eggs in a box. So if I've got 1 packet, I'm going to use 1 egg, and I'll have 5 left over. So that is what I'm trying to achieve with this formula. So let's start off with the first piece, because it is rather complicated. I'm going to build the formula as I go along, so I'm just going to do what I just did there with equals mod. So I'm going to find the remainder of well, if I use 1 packet and I've got 6 eggs, so I've just pointed and clicked at the values, then that gives me I've used 1, I just need 1 box. If I drag that to the right, we're going to get a little bit of a problem. To begin with, I've got a divide by 0 error, then I've got a load of hashes, it all looks wrong. And this is another piece of IT with spreadsheets that we need to be aware of, that I'm going to be using quite a lot. And if I show you what is happening, so if I click in the 1 and then click on the formula, it is doing the blue cell here and the green cell here. If I move over to where I've got the error, so press escape and click on that, you'll see what's happening. It's doing the blue cell here, but it's doing the green cell here. It's moved on from the 6 and it's looking at that green cell, and in fact it starts getting worse as I click on the next one. It's going across, and the reason is because I actually just dragged my formula to the right and it automatically did all the formulas from that. Which gave me my error. What I would like to do is actually have on this one, this cell and that cell, and then when I move across have that cell and that cell, then that cell and that cell. In other words, where the packets are, I'm changing it as I go right, but I'm always looking at that value 6 there in that red cell, and there is a special way of doing that. Let's redo this formula. So instead of typing equals mod G11, I5, what I need to do is put a $sign in front of the I and a $sign in front of the 5. That is that value there, and that says keep it still when you drag. So if I press enter, and then if I drag right, I've fixed my problem. Okay, and I'm getting the remainders. So I've got remainder 1, remainder 2, remainder 3, remainder 4, remainder 5, 0. In other words, I've used a whole box of eggs when I have used 6 packets. So I've got 1 left over, 2 left over, 3, 4, 5, 0. I've used 2 boxes of eggs when I've used 12 packets. So every 6 packets, so on the 18, I'm getting a 0 here, and I want to use the fact that when I've got a remainder of 0, that is a whole box of eggs I have used. So that's the essence of this calculation, and that's the formula that we require to do it. So at the moment I've just done a very basic formula here. This is going to grow. It's going to grow rather in a difficult fashion that you probably will not understand, but we'll try to follow the process. If you're typing it in as we're doing it, then I would watch the videos and then type in the final formula when we've finished in a couple of videos time. I will let you know.